Hmm. Don't think I can bring that with me. What's going on, everyone? I apologize. These are some gears that are quite rusted. But I'd like to try and do this for you. See what I can do in real time. Kind of interact with you guys if anyone wants to pull up. But I think I'm just going to kind of go in it. But real quick, first I'm going to just test out my audio as usual. I think that the music definitely had to be increased. That should be perfect. But at the same time, I guess I should be... I don't think I need to play the trailer for you guys, because it's already been played, I'm sure, a few times for everybody. And I don't want to really go back too many times depending on how many people will show up, but I guess just let's get this started, really. I guess I should turn this off. Turn it down, I suppose. I think I do want to watch this. I want to watch bits of it. Nah, you know what? Okay, I think I know how I want to do this. I think I kind of want to go first with just what we see. And then after that talk about maybe sort of what story, like what was talked about. First what we're shown, what's talked about, and then gameplay. Yeah, let's do that. I mean, we can just take the brakes off right now. So this person in the cloak, it's a female by the voice and the body. I think this is definitely Ava. I don't think there's anyone else that it could be. I mean, I think that the fact that Ava is just missing, and Lucia at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of, you know, alluded to her just doing her own thing, but she's just missing, right? That in and of itself is already kind of a conundrum, because we don't know where the original foretellers were. Were they in this unreality, or were they kind of like Kingdom Hearts dead, like maybe in the final world, or were they in the data scape? You know what I mean? I think the real question in here is, where did the foretellers come from? If this is Ava, which I do believe this is Ava. I don't think it's Scold. Scold is the girl from Union Cross. I don't think it's Scold, because last we know of her, like, I guess, like, status or condition is that her memories have been wiped. Like, she doesn't remember who she is, but she's still just a missing character. I suppose she could be this person. But I think it's a little bit more likely that it's Ava because of the way that she's speaking. And I guess I will end up having to talk about what she's talking about a little bit. No. I want to kind of save that for later. But just what she's talking about, she's talking as if she is of higher knowledge. Like she knows a lot more. I guess like she's just more knowledgeable about the world and the mechanisms of how this world works. Like she's been here for a while. that leads me to believe that it's 100% Ava. And as she says, I guess, because they arrived into this world. So this is, I wonder, what this is, right? This has to be either some kind of, oh wait, let me turn that down so that no one can hear me echo. This has to be some level of, it is either the real world, like our real world, because this is clearly what is that? I'm sorry, Shinjuku, a location in Japan, right? There's real people, there's cars. I just can't tell. I guess there's like a small notion in the back of my head because of its origin of if this is a game. You know what I mean? Like, what if they're inside of their unreality, right? But what if that's a game? It's a game to them. I guess. Okay, you know what? No. That doesn't make sense. This is, I guess this has to be the real world. Like, I guess this is them kind of stepping out of their game world, and that's how I'm now looking at it. It's like it's from both sides, right? The way that Yozora possibly he recognized Sora at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 in that last what is it? The secret ending, the secret boss, what have you. He recognized him. They both recognize each other. And at least from Sora's perspective, like from his whatever, Yozora is from a game. And in that game, like, it showed off, like, I guess one of Yozora's like adventures, I guess, right? And so that's how he knows of him. And possibly how that the girl that's possibly Stella, which is the girl in that Yozora trailer, or whatever, that the Verum Rex trailer, the brown-haired girl. I'm kind of getting off track, but it's just interesting that if this is the real world, is Kingdom Hearts a game in this world? And that would make it vice versa. This real world, in the Kingdom Hearts realm, their world is real to them. That's the real world. And then they go into this other world where at least the character that we know of is recognizable, which is Yozora. And he's seemingly from this world. And that can also be kind of toppled upon the fact that Luxord is in this world, which we'll see a little bit later. But anyways, kind of getting sidetracked. As she says, because they have arrived into this world, because of that, the manifestation, or rather, as she says, the concepts of dark and light were brought with them into this world. I find that really interesting, and I guess I do want to end up, I'll just talk about that, what she's talking about here, because I do find it very intriguing. The way that she's talking about it, it reminds me of Fire Force. I don't know if you guys have watched or read that, and I don't want to get too deep into spoils, but near the end of the series, a lot of concepts of things are reinvented, reimagined, because the world basically has to start anew or something to that degree, right? This isn't exactly the same, but them kind of warping into a completely different reality from what they are used to, it then brings in, the idea of concepts that are not in this world and are from the other world, the Kingdom Hearts world, being brought into this one. I just find it really interesting. I find that to be a very, very compelling kind of like plot point to this entire kind of situation here, where they're in this different reality that I assume is supposed to be some kind of escape. Yeah, like we're going kind of really deep into all of this now. I'm just kind of like opening up the Pandora's box at this point. It's really interesting that I'm almost thinking of this as like an escape, right? The Master of Masters, I believe, is in here. Ava is here. We get to see a lot of different characters later, which I'll just kind of like brush on like right here as we go. Like Luxord, possibly the Master of Masters. This other character that I think is maybe a younger Yozora. It's very interesting because he has a Keyblade. And then another character that we saw that is possibly from a different era. People are naming him as Sigrun, and we'll get into that a little bit. Stella, Sorry, not Stella. What Strelitzia. I almost forgot about her even being here. You know what I mean? Like all of these characters being in this unreality, I find it interesting because it's almost like it's an escape. It's for some reason some different reality that I can be traversed into, whether it be on purpose or on accident, you know, because obviously Sora is there on accident in a sense because he completely fucked with the timeline. But the Master of Masters and Ava, they might have gotten there on purpose in some way, you know, via some kind of way of travel. So again, I just find this whole idea of the unreality thing really, really interesting. It's very compelling, and it adds a lot of different mysteries to the Kingdom Hearts verse, which is just awesome. You know, more of that is great as long as we're getting answers to our previous questions. Let's kind of like go back to where I was at here. So obviously darkness is manifesting. And this has to be a dark side, right? I look It's very interesting how the detail is. It's very almost like stringy. It's hard to describe. It's almost like because of the fact that they're in a different reality and these concepts, you know, it's different from how they look in Kingdom Hearts. That's simply what it is. In the Kingdom Hearts universe, they're a lot more solid. They had form. They even brought it up in this line of thought as well. I forgot that, you know, they brought concepts with them being light and darkness, and obviously darkness is going to manifest and have its own physical form in this universe when it didn't exist to begin with. And so it's just interesting to see that clearly the fact that these dark beings, this dark concept in and of itself, given physical form and in a reality that they shouldn't exist in, it just simply changes the way that they look, the way that we recognize them as, to some degree. You know, obviously this is the dark side, and it has very specific characteristics, like this, you know, piece of hair and the spikes of hair coming out of it, these wings, the heart in the body. But the way that it looks so like detailed and muscly, and what I was saying earlier, how it's like almost like stringy and see-through, I find that really interesting. It's just kind of building on the fact that, you know, these beings aren't meant to be in this reality, but they are. And so because of that, they look different from what we recognize them as, at least, you know, in the previous games. We can see some kind of like, I don't know if this is damage or darkness. It looks like a mix of both, because you can see like the building kind of seems to be kind of like breaking here. But obviously this gives me, obviously, like, it looks like darkness. That kind of gives me, you know, it gives me the thought of like that actual like dark ball that the dark side actually fucking creates. No, it's not the dark side. Dark side is just usually under it. Some dark person is always creating some kind of dark orb. That's kind of what this looks like, but it stays there. I guess that's damage. Yeah, I suppose that's damage. It's just interesting how this looks like darkness, but it also looks like damage. It could be corrupting the world. That could be another concept. Again, it's darkness being in a world where it's not supposed to be in, and so it's gonna have very interesting effects, I assume, as well. That's a possibility. Because I can't help but kind of parallel it with Marvel, what's going on with Marvel right now, where, you know, there's universes, and when they cross together, it can create, fuck, what is it called? I have it on the tip of my tongue. An occurrence? No. Basically, it's the event when two universes collide and one of them has to be destroyed. I'm kind of forgetting what that's called. What's going on, Mario? Welcome back, right? Holy shit. I'm doing alright, man. We're just talking about some of this stuff. About to get me sidetracked a little bit. But in the Marvel universe, like if they collide, like, you know, usually they kind of like have to destroy themselves, or one of them has to be destroyed, something like that. I find it kind of similar here, where, you know, it's two different worlds that are colliding with each other. And again, like as she says, she's bringing over concepts. They're bringing over concepts that never existed, but because they are simply bringing it on over, um, it's becoming a concept in this world. I find so many different parallels, guys, with the Marvel universe. Now I'm thinking of Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Because in Jujutsu Kaisen, cursed energy is only a concept that is in Japan because of a very specific negative energy that those people kind of create. But you know, the idea is that first of all, like I don't know, you know, kind of spoils, but in Modulo, there's like aliens that come from space and they also have cursed energy. Anyways, the concept I'm saying is that, like, you know, this very specific group of people have cursed energy, but if they were to go over to the Western countries like the US, you know, theoretically speaking, cursed energy would then pour into the Westerns because of the energy coming from whoever that person is that has cursed energy. You know what I mean? It's a concept that a human doesn't really understand or have any experience of, but it merges with them. I find a lot of interesting parallels here with the fact that, you know, they're talking about them being in an entirely different world, a different universe, so to speak, at this point. But it's also just interesting that they are using the real world. And again, like going back to what I was talking about earlier with how Virum Rex was like a game and Kingdom Hearts 3. And obviously, like, to them, it's the real world, right? To our Kingdom Hearts characters, it's the real world. Their world is their world. And then Virum Rex is the game. But then Sora literally meets the character from Virum Rex, and he knows him from, like, inside of a game. And then the Azora recognizes Sora. So it's just, again, it's interesting how a lot of these are, like, kind of, a lot of these different things are kind of, like, paralleling. And it gives me a lot of different ideas of what we can foresee in the future. I like this line, though, specifically. She said, "The darkness given physical form only after we defined it." And that's, again, that's an interesting thing to say right there, because they're the ones that have knowledge of darkness, the idea of darkness. Darkness itself resides in them, because darkness resides in every heart, as well as light. So again, they're bringing the concepts over from the world that they live in into this world, and it's emerging. And I really like that, because it creates a completely different conflict that has never been seen before, which is I'm literally just stranded into this random world that I've never experienced before, these things that I can't, you know, even describe. But there's also Heartless here, clearly, or some kind of dark beings. That's what I'm also wondering, is if these will be Heartless. I suppose they will be, right? Because that's what happens. The darkness will, you know, seep into people's hearts, and then that will create a Heartless. Yeah, it's very interesting. Kingdom Hearts 4 logo, boom. And then here we see it attacking. We'll get a whole kind of, there's going to be a big portion of Sora kind of fighting this dark side. And that was mostly what we got in the announcement trailer for this game, like 4 or 5 years ago. But now it just looks a little bit better. I think it looks a little bit more refined, a little bit more sharp. The thing is that, you know, that game was announced 4 or 5 years ago, but a lot of these ideas that they had in general, combat-wise, looks-wise, they're going to be refined over time. But I assume the story is, for the most part, all drawn out. So that's why we're getting a lot of what I believe is the beginning portion of the game. Hard to say, you know, everything else. Sometimes I've noticed that Kingdom Hearts trailers give big things away. I actually almost forgot about that, because we're gonna kind of keep moving this forward a little bit. I actually will just get back to this, you know, whole dark side Sora gameplay thing going on here, because I kind of actually do want to talk about what I just alluded to, which is I feel like Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, Kingdom Hearts trailers for new games, for example, Kingdom Hearts 3. I think that's the bigger one. And I suppose even the past games, but in general, they kind of spoil a lot of fucking things, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of sucks because they spoil what I'm trying to say is that they spoil things. I'm sorry, I'm actually not reading chat. I'm so deep in in my thought. I'm gonna read chat in a second. I'm seeing you're still texting me, Mario. I'm sorry. I just find it an interesting, you know, or what I was saying is that, like, it's kind of funny that they'll like show characters like this character, you know, they'll show this character. Strelitzia we know is here. This character that we'll get to. This character who we still don't know exactly who he is, but I have an idea, is your Zora. Luxord, you know, we'll get the Master of Masters with some feathers. So maybe Sephiroth is here. It's like, no, that'd be crazy. But things like that, it's like, what was it? They showed off a lot of different characters like Marluxia and stuff like that. It was almost like spoilery. Because that in and of itself is a twist, seeing those characters, you know what I mean, in the story. It's just a lot of like wordplay and a lot of like plot in and of itself that is what is really being like given to us throughout the game. And the details and stuff, but sometimes in trailers they'll like spoil, in a sense, big moments to some degree, not seriously, but to some degree. Let me know if you agree with that. Let me read the chat here. Who do you think that female figure with the room over was? I think it can be Ava. Yeah, I already said that it's Ava. I don't think it's Subject X, which is Scold. It's not her. At least I don't think so. I think Scold will either be, she's either going to be in the final world or possibly just not found yet. You know what I mean? The fact that they are remembering her, you know what I mean? Don't forget that she was, I believe, in a lifeboat. So in order for someone to be in a lifeboat and re-emerge as a person, there needs to be like a medium, which is like an item, memories, and wait, fuck, is the medium the waypoint? I'm trying to remember. There's three things. I'm trying to remember what the third thing is. Basically, it's someone with memories of that person, a medium, or a waypoint. No, the waypoint is the person with memories, and then there's a medium, which is an item, and I think there's something else that I'm not quite remembering. If someone can let me know about that, that'd be great. But I think the fact that they're looking for her and remembering her, I think that's like one of those pieces. So I think Scold is just in a lifeboat and was sent until that, like, the next time that she is remembered type shit, and that there is an item. So, you know, I'm thinking that something will happen in Kingdom Hearts 4 where Isa and Lee are looking for Scold, and then maybe they find like an item of her, or they find like a picture of her, or something like that, and that is like one of the, or is the final thing that is needed, and then she will reemerge somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm thinking that she's just not emerged back in the real world again, in Kingdom Hearts universe. But the person that's in the cloak at the beginning is definitely Ava. All right, let's go back here. Yeah, that's definitely Ava. I find that so crazy that she is in the world of unreality. Not all surprising, but it was like it wasn't surprising, but it's like, why didn't I think of that? You know what I mean? I'm sure there are many other people who've had that theory, especially after seeing the Master of Masters in the unreality. I feel like that should have been a given. You know what I mean? Ava being with him, you know, where else is she? And the fact that she's not there when Luxu summons all of the foretellers at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, it's almost obvious. It has to be Ava. Now, see, this isn't quite gameplay. This is more so cinematics, I would like to think. And again, I think this is probably something that has to do with the intro of the game. I have a strong feeling this is kind of like the intro of the game. Sora wakes up, he goes out to see the city, and then because he's here, darkness kind of like eclipses. And goddamn, that's going to get me into another theory that I'm going to have actually, now that I'm just like talking on the subject. I'm thinking that, I don't know why, but I'm thinking that this unreality is in some way not affected by Kingdom Hearts timeline. Like, I don't know why I'm getting the feeling in my head, which I could be entirely incorrect. Oh, we'll get to this scene soon. Which is, I feel like there could be to some degree a thing where people who come into the unreality realm come at the same time. It's hard to say. Because nah, never mind. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know, because if this is the intro of the game where this dark side arrives and Sora wakes up in the unreality and then he's like, oh shit, I gotta face this Heartless. I'm just wondering if that is the first inclination of Heartless, or if she's just talking about how, oh, since we've gotten to this land. So when was the first time y'all came to this land? You know what I mean? For how long was this world accustomed to darkness before Sora got there? You know, was it a week? Was it a couple months? Was it a year? Because we know that in the actual Kingdom Hearts timeline, hundreds of years have passed. Possibly thousands. You know what I mean? But, it doesn't look, what I'm trying to say is, like, let's say there was, this is kind of like a good, not quite. Let's say that, you know, as she says, once they got to the world, the concepts of light and darkness were introduced into that world once they were, you know, once they traversed into it. That being said, you know, looking around at these backgrounds of the cities is what I'm trying to say is that it doesn't look like there's a lot of damage beyond the place that this dark side is at. Like these buildings specifically, like where they are battling right now, it doesn't look like there's much other damage anywhere else. So, and the reason why I say that is, let's say all of these beings, all of these people who have come to the unreality, you know, that have come from Kingdom Hearts specifically, which is, I believe, Sora, Ava, Master of Masters, unless they originated from the unreality. No, that's not possible. That's not possible because they literally just said they brought the concepts with them. Anyways, like those three characters, maybe Riku. What I'm saying is, like, again, so like if they were the ones who brought the concept here, and let's say that person is the Master of Masters, who should be the first person to have arrived in this world, you know, canonically and timeline wise. But there doesn't seem to be a lot of damage to the city because of darkness being a new concept, you know what I mean? Where they have been there for a long time, because hundreds of years have passed in the Kingdom Hearts verse. That's what I'm saying. It must be a thing where in this universe, time flows way slower. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm just thinking like these people kind of arrive here kind of one after another. It's kind of hard to describe. That's, again, I'm just kind of like throwing theories at you guys from what I'm seeing here. In a sense, not even really analyzing this fucking trailer, but I do appreciate y'all listening to me and my theories, bro. Let's change the theme real quick. Let me read the chat. Yeah, I think them finding Scold would be pretty fun. Absolutely. Do you think these new characters will be players from Union Cross or foretellers without their animal mask? That's an interesting idea. Let me take a look at those images. The person with the purple look to him, with the brown hair, which we'll get to in a moment, this guy, people are saying that this is Sigrun. I'm gonna perfectly get him there. Sigrun is the character. What do I want to? I'm looking for, hold on. Sigrun is the character from Union Cross, way at the end. Am I spelling correctly? Ending. He's way at the end. He's the one that, I got on my man. Get out of my face. He's the one that found Brain. Let's go near the end here. Thank you, someone, for allowing me to use this video. So this is the end where everyone was awaking. Let me try and put it closer to the center. So yeah, we don't even need to fast forward. So that's Ephemer. He's landing at the broken Daybreak town. So he didn't even, his wasn't even, that didn't even work properly for him. Marluxia, or rather Larium, Lushu, who took Brain's body. Oh my god, let's not, man. Let's just talk about this for 2 seconds. I find it so crazy that Lushu took Brain's body and allowed his heart to go into the fucking lifeboat because he wouldn't have needed his body anyways. I find that shit to be insanity. Right here. So people are saying that this is Sigrun, this person who is living in this era of Scala Ed Kylum, who was there to give Brain his hat, and that was his medium for him to come back to life. But people are saying that this person right here is this guy right here. And that's what I'm saying. So like, if that is the case, I just find that really bizarre. How there's a lot of different characters from different eras of the Kingdom Hearts universe that are in the unreality. But again, this person in the black coat, who I believe is Ava, she's talking about how, oh, when we came into this world, we brought along the concepts of light and dark. So I found it really interesting, you know, what exactly is the timeline of all of this? That's, you know, that's just me. That's kind of like what I'm looking at and what I'm interested in. You know, how does all of this line up? Because why are all of these different characters in this world at the same time? You know what I mean? When they should have, like, you know, did something along the lines of, I don't know, I just got distracted. But it's just really interesting. I hope that's, you know, kind of like expanded upon, because I care about timeline stuff. I know they kind of don't care about timeline stuff because they have so many fucking gaps of years of things that have just not been shown. Like literally all of 75 years of Xehanort's life was not shown. You know what I mean? I find that to be extremely interesting. But we'll never get any of that. But still, like, these different characters from these different eras, you know, where do they come from? You know, how did they arrive here? Why are they here at the same time? So I think there is a small detail though. Let me go through all of this stuff and let's actually look at small details real quick. Let's take a break. Let's go back. Let's look at the small details and then kind of go back into the deep stuff. Let's do an actual general analysis of these things. She's on top of a building. The detail is crazy here, right? Like, the detail is really next level. They have like these bars that are under the building or what have you. Oh, sorry. Let me look at the chat, actually. And before I do this, let's look at the chat, because I saw Brady is in here. Welcome back, Brady. Welcome back, my guy. I said that earlier. I did think that that was possibly Sephiroth. I don't know, because the thing is like, I don't think it could be Sephiroth. It's, I don't know. It's, who else? Who else has such an iconic kind of entrance into anything as Sephiroth does with his like angel wing feathers, the black angel wing feathers? You know, this, it's only been him. So, but I would find it interesting. I would find it more interesting that Sephiroth would even be a thing in this unreality, when, first of all, Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts 3 barely existed. So for them to kind of turn that around entirely would be very interesting. But it's also interesting because Virum Rex and that whole ending of Kingdom Hearts 3 and the ending kind of mirroring Final Fantasy Versus 13 trailers, I just find it, I would find it interesting that a Final Fantasy character is inside of a world that is based off of a failed Final Fantasy game. You know what I mean? It's hard to say. It may or may not be Sephiroth. Oh yeah, you were saying foretellers. I did want to look at that real quick. I know you're kind of taking it back. The reason why I don't think any of these guys are foretellers, this could be a Sed, maybe. We could definitely put eyes on him as a Sed. It's possible, but I would speak against that only because of the color scheme. And to kind of double down on that is with the foretellers, I think they alluded to with Era, the color of their robes is the color of their hair. That's why I would allude to this maybe being a Sed, because he's brown, brownish yellowish color, like a bear. But with his fit being purple and having nothing to do with like brown or yellowish the way that he did as a foreteller. Also the fact that, yeah, I mean, also the fact that a Sed is literally alive in the Kingdom Hearts universe, I don't think so. And then therefore he can't really be any of the other foretellers, you know what I mean? Because there's theories that, what's his name? Gula? There's theories that he is like a lookalike of Ventus, which is, I don't think is entirely possible, but he'll probably have blonde hair. Ava might have pink hair. Who's the other one? Envy. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot her. You know, she might have purple hair. Era has blue hair. So I think Ased will probably have brown hair. We have never seen Lushu's real body, but what's his name? Zigbar's hair was black before he had gray stripes in it. So, you know, and he had a black coat. Anyways, so, you know, that this person, I'm theorizing that this is Yozora. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It doesn't really at all. But the only reason why is because his hair looks similar. This might be a younger Yozora. His hair looks similar. He's just missing one red eye. And I believe Yozora, doesn't he have black roots for the hair? Or is it all white? I think he has black roots. Let me very quickly. KH4 secret ending. Honestly, not even the best. Oh, wait. It's probably the better one. Damn it. Wait. Freak. Will it return? Thank you, someone, for letting me use their video. Yeah, like he kind of has black roots, sort of. And his hair is like kind of similar. It's kind of similar. So I'm thinking this could be a young Yozora. But it would be interesting if it was Yozora, because why does this guy have a Keyblade? And let's analyze that Keyblade if we can. That's kind of like a star. And that almost makes a crown, the same way the Kingdom Key does. The Keyblade design is definitely interesting. A little bit more on the basic side, but I still like it. Every Keyblade is unique. Even the fact that like there's openings right here in the handle. Is that a moon? I can't tell. Oh, but see, okay, yeah, that's definitely you see how that keychain is like a almost like a shuriken? So yeah, that's basically what's going on here. But the fact that he has a mask on, I can't tell if that's straight up design or if this is like a real this is like a human. If this is a human in the real world who now has like a Kingdom Hearts, like a Keyblade. And he's just like, yo, I have this Keyblade. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here, but I'm here to help, I guess. I say that because in Japan, it's extremely common for almost everyone to be wearing a face mask. And so that's why he's kind of like set apart from our normal Kingdom Hearts characters, is that this person has a face mask on. I'm still thinking that it could be Yozora, but he could also just be a new character. That's an interesting Keyblade he has. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to those details again. Peep chat real quick. Zigbar, Lushu killed her. Are you talking about killed Ava? Because I don't think that's the case. But again, I think that there is definitely, you know, there's definitely some secret way that the master knows on how specifically to travel to the unreality. And that's interesting in and of itself. You know, there seems to be a specific way that you can travel that only specific people will know. And obviously the way to do it is very specific, because Sora did it on accident, you know, by breaking the laws of physics and time. By rewriting history. But the Master of Masters and Ava, the Master of Masters definitely specifically just got there by just like disappearing. You know what I mean? That's what's interesting. They just disappear. Ava just disappeared at some point during the battle, because it's clear that the foretellers, I don't think the foretellers were the ones that were shoved to unreality, but Ava clearly, at least presumably, was. It's just very interesting. He could be a player. That'd be pretty cool too. That would make sense, you know, because I would find it hard pressed for them to. Oh, nope. I wouldn't find it hard pressed for what I was about to say. You know, the fact that they're bringing concepts of light and dark from Kingdom Hearts universe over into this unreality. What's to say that they aren't bringing over the concept of being pure-hearted and being able to wield a Keyblade, you know, just by the essence of your person and how strong your heart is. So that's what I'm saying. I guess that could be just a random person. You know what I mean? Maybe that's young Yozora. That wouldn't make any sense though. I don't know if it's young Yozora, because, you know, Yozora in and of itself is still just... Wait a second. If that's... Okay, theory time, guys. More theory time. What's good, Gargamon? What's good, Mario? What's good, Brady? 1 second. If that is a young Yozora, then that is kind of confirming a theory that I had for a while, where, again, time is kind of... Time doesn't... The timeline between the Kingdom Hearts universe and the unreality is just different. It's just different. Let's say that's a young Yozora. Let's say that is Yozora. Young Yozora at a super young age, right? And the concept of light and darkness and pure hearts and keyblades and everything like that have been introduced into this unreality, this world that he existed in that was just a regular world, in our human society before these beings just kind of sprang into existence. Now he wields a keyblade. And then he meets Sora. You know what I mean? And he has this journey with Sora. And Sora, maybe he lost his memories. We're not really quite sure where Sora is right now as far as his mental state, what he knows and what he doesn't know, what he remembers and doesn't remember. It's going to be really hard to describe, because I'm also saying, like, when the fight between Yozora and Sora took place, at specifically what time did that take place in? Is it after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, or is it somewhere else in that timeline? Because again, it's clear that Sora ended up in unreality, right? But that meeting between Yozora and Sora had to have happened either before or after him entering into unreality. And so again, like, I find, so the theory to continue from there is that if that's a young Yozora meeting Sora, and this is where they encounter each other and they, fight alongside each other or something to that degree, and then Yozora grows up and something happens to Sora, maybe he gets put back to sleep, or maybe he is like kind of wiped from existence again, because it's now time for him to he found out that he has to do something or other, go to sleep or something in order for him to kind of go back into the Kingdom Hearts verse. Yozora grows up and then he finds Sora as a younger version of himself, and then he has to fight younger Sora against his, with him being grown up, Yozora, I mean. And that's why Sora recognizes Yozora, but not fully as a full character, like a game or something. And maybe Yozora, maybe it was Sora giving Yozora his name, but he didn't remember where he knew that name from. He just say that, oh, you look familiar, I'm gonna call you Yozora. And then it's like, oh my god. And then it's like, that's why Yozora approaches Sora and he's like, how do you know me by that name? I'm Sora. Wait, you're Sora? Like, oh, I know you by that name too. And I was told that I need to save you. Because he knew Sora when he was younger, so maybe he doesn't really remember him. And in general, Sora looks older. He looks slightly different. So for him to then wind up in the Kingdom Hearts verse in that, final world at night, maybe that's why he didn't recognize Sora. I don't know. I'm just trying to piece my theory together. Interesting. That could be young Yozora. It could not. It's possible. It's also entirely impossible. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't think Ava got killed because she was there at the final battle for Kingdom Hearts or whatever. But at the same time, we didn't see exactly what happened to any of the other foretellers. That's, again, it's still just another reason why this is just a big mystery. Where exactly were the foretellers if they weren't where Ava was, which is unreality? And how did Ava get to unreality? There must be specific ways on getting here, not just by accident, clearly. Yeah, the official trailer is going to go crazy. But I'm going to be scared because, like I was saying earlier, these trailers be mad spoilerish sometimes. Like, they be giving up a lot of different stuff that's like kind of like twists and big moments or characters that we wouldn't have expected to see, and they're showing them to us because they want to give us like a big wow factor. But then it's like them appearing in the game is not a twist anymore. So I don't know, that's just the sad thing about Kingdom Hearts trailers, is that they kind of give away details that I don't want to be revealed on. Let's just look at some small details before we go forward, and then also go into gameplay a little bit. I don't think I really need to expand too much upon the fact that this whole world looks very detailed. I think this, let's go back. What does this say? Is this in-game, is this cinematics? Development footage, subject to change. So this is in-game. This is 100% in-game footage, but you know, obviously things can change, the shaders can change, the lighting can change, the details can change themselves, but just where we're at right now, the detail is very immense, to say the least. You know, this, it's literally the city of what I think Shinjuku, a city in Japan, pretty much. And for it to be, I wonder how capable, like how open will the world be for us to explore and walk around. I know this isn't about to be fucking GTA Sora fucking walking around trying to get into cars and I can run over people, but obviously in good old Kingdom Hearts fashion, I should be able to kind of walk around, maybe interact with a person here or there. But you know, the fact that this is the real world, there's going to be back alleys and buildings that I can possibly encounter, cars, zip lines, you know what I mean? These the HVAC systems, you know what I'm saying? Like I can use those as wind propellers the same way I did in the past games. I'm just saying, like, there's lots of nice detail here, but the fact that it's so immense, I hope that allows us to actually you know, explore some more. Let's change the theme a little bit. Let's see here. Boom. The Lost Master arc. Fitting. We clearly see here, this is where that dark side is starting to form. And see, that's what I'm saying is, I won't expand again too much on it, but it's just interesting that it's like, it's the way that she's talking in this moment, in this teaser, and then this dark side appearing. I just can't imagine they were there for long, you know? Like, it must have been, there must be something weird going on with, like, timeline. I kind of already went over details here, you know, the details of the buildings, lots of HVAC systems, basically copy and pasting, LOL. This building being kind of destroyed, sort of, but not really. Just kind of making sure there's not much other detail. So there's smoke here, so it's like there's damage in different places. But this has to be like a new attack. And I'm saying, like, if darkness has been here for a long time, as in like since the master got here, if it was a long time, there should be damage in other places. You know, this is not fucking anime or the MCU where buildings are absolutely destroyed and they're going to be rebuilt in a matter of a month or something like that. That's not going to happen. If it is, that's kind of ass. I do appreciate just the detail that we have here in all of these scenes, because again, this seems to be in-game footage, but all of this is subject to change. But for the most part, I think that means it's going to just be more improvements. What is that in the background? Is that a car? I can't tell. Excuse me. Again, it's, let me turn this down. That's the 104 building right over there. So we're not far off from the place that we fight Yozora in Kingdom Hearts 3. So let's start off right here with the small details. We get Sora. You know, he must be arriving at the scene. And now and I assume, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, this must be like an intro. This must be some kind of intro. I think Sora wakes up. He meets Strelitzia. I think that scene is still going to be accurate. From this joint here. Boom. I actually want to see this real quick. Whoops, I just pressed the wrong button. Haven't seen this trailer in a while. You've been asleep since you arrived in this world 7 days ago. Quadratum. It's a world full of life. It's similar to an afterworld. So is this thing appearing the moment that Sora wakes up? That's again the kind of interesting thing that I want to have expanded upon is the fact that this concept is being introduced into this world because of our arrival. But is that the Master of Masters' arrival or Sora's arrival? Whose arrival? Have they been here the whole time? But Sora arrives on the scene. He wants to help out. Just looking at this. So obviously that returns, which is just such a cool little detail. You're using the chain of the Keyblade to actually grapple onto things. I find that to be such a cool detail, which does return 100% right here. It looks a lot more clean too, because I saw in that last trailer, you know, they still had the effect of the key as it spun out. But this again might be a little bit more cinematic. It's hard to tell. More cinematic than actual gameplay. Uses the grapple, grabs to the car that's being floated up. Bro has all this drip though. He has a watch. He has his necklace, of course. He has these like gold and black chucks. Bro thinks he's dripped out, man. Kingdom drip. More darkness here. Damage in the background. There's a special sale going on. See if there's anything else that we're missing. Not really. There's not much that we're missing here. It's a nice little still image for sure. He tries to attack the dark side, and the dark side immediately sideswipes him. He gets thrown hundreds of feet back, because now it's a bit more of a concept. Gets broken through some glass where some other people are just like hanging about because they're just at work, like living a regular fucking life. And they're seeing this big ass dark monster just come out of nowhere. And Sora is just like this guy that's obviously trying to fight him and has this weird key looking weapon. I find this so interesting because the timeline and stuff, man, that's the part that really gets to me. I just don't know if that'll ever be expanded upon for real. And so I like this too. We finally get an image of Strelitzia. You know, she's back here. She's 100% in the world. It wasn't just a dream, like. But it even from that last trailer, so Sora just wakes up in unreality. He just wakes up. He might not have any memories of who he is or what's going on. Just the fact that he has a Keyblade and he wants to help people or something like that. You know, I really, again, just these small details that we don't really know yet, that I have a feeling is kind of a significant thing to look at. You know, is Sora going to remember anything? Because this person, but I guess he should, right? Because I feel like with Ava and maybe with Strelitzia, they're alluding to the fact that they will have memories of the past, in the world that they were in before. but I guess they're trapped here. There's no way for them to leave. How long has Strelitzia been here? How many days? How many months? I find that so interesting. It makes it even more interesting to me because how did she get here? Okay, you know what? The idea that Mario was having earlier, it could make sense about Ava being killed because Strelitzia got killed, right? Didn't she just get fucking like sideswiped by darkness itself and Union Cross? And then she seemingly died, heart left and everything, heart floating out the door, but she's here? So how do you get into unreality? I think that is one of the biggest questions for me. You know, I kind of go deeper into all of these stories that I'm kind of analyzing here, you know, these bits and points and details that are super important to me for sure. But like there's big questions to me. Big question number one is how do you get into unreality? The question number two is there time dissonance between Kingdom Hearts universe and unreality universe? Like how much time has passed? That's like those are the details that I'm most interested in. It's definitely, I think, obvious that Strelitzia is talking to someone in a black cloak here. It's just, you know, is that going to be Ava? Is it the Master of Masters? Is it maybe a different character? Because we saw in the Missing Link cutscenes. Let's see here. Over here. Missing Link trailer. If you turn your attention to the scene somewhere around here, probably near the end. Dang, Missing Link would have been tough, but it is what it is. It's dead. Ollie, hush. Wait, I don't think. Oh, this is the one. I got it on my Ming. I'm not gonna support. I ain't got no bread. Where are these guys? Did they have black cloaks on? I thought they did. Damn it. Is it in here? It might be in here. Oh, here it is. Boom. This person here, who has Lushu's Keyblade. Wait, no. This actually doesn't make sense, because this is in the Kingdom Hearts universe. Anyways, could be the Alva, could be the Master of Masters, could be someone else. Because obviously those cloaks exist at this point. But I think Ava or whoever is under that cloak, that's a woman, and the Master of Masters are the only people that we know, or at least highly suspect. Oh shit! I need to feed my son. My fault, y'all. I might have to step out for a hot second. My son being my cat. But we can assume that the Master of Masters is here with him being in those scenes. And Ava might be in here as well because it's a woman. And I don't think it's Gold. So, anyways, it's just possible that there's other people that are here with the black cloak. But I think she's talking to Ava or whoever was talking at the beginning of the trailer, who is a woman. I don't think that's the Master of Masters that she's facing. We kind of already went over this. This seems to maybe be Sigrun. I don't know if it's anyone else, but it could be just someone else from a different era. It could be someone from a Dark Road. It could be a foreteller. But it would be interesting if this is someone, because the fit kind of matches too. If he's from the era of the original Scala Adkylum, where Ephemera was the one who created Scala Adkylum. Yeah. Give me a 5-minute break, yo. 5-minute break. How long have I been on here yapping, dude? I've been yapping for an hour. For the first 30 seconds of the goddamn teaser. Oh my god. Man, what a time. What a time to be alive. Alright, let's continue here. I appreciate you guys being around. Actually, wait, let me actually, I'm getting hungry. Maybe let me just drink some water. Okay, all right. Let's continue here. And let's change the music because it just died. Let's see. Enough of my music. Nothing immediately. What am I trying to listen to? I feel like I should go to my stuff. All right. Mm, uh, Yo, who's this hideous Bob right here? Could have swore there it is. Unavailable. I was gonna say hello. Let's shuffle this.
Good news. Chase Credit Journey can help you with a personalized score improvement plan.
Is this actually shuffling the playlist? I can't tell. Okay. Let's start off with The Key of Darkness. All right. Anyways, let's continue here. So we're actually at this point. Oh my god, we still have like a whole fucking 30 seconds of stuff to go over. So yeah, we just don't know who this character is just yet. I theorize it could be Yazora, but it could be an original character. Could be as well. It could totally be like a foreteller or something like that. I doubt it though, because I feel like the Keyblade, excuse me, would look similar in some way. I think that's a new character. Haven't even gotten to this motherfucker. So this is very clearly Luxord, which we also saw like in the ending. Like we've been theorizing that this man has some kind of ties to this world because one, he was shown, and two, he seems to have some kind of a higher knowledge. Whenever Luciu was talking about the black box, this, that, and the third, his origins, what his plan is, and even Luciu was like, "Who are you, bruh? Because you kind of know way too much." And here he is. You know, we can't tell if that's, guys. This is what I'm saying, is that we don't know if this is Luxord from the past before he went into the Kingdom Hearts universe, or if this is after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3 and this is where he is now. Guys, I'm sorry, but like there is all the possibility that like Sora coming into Unreality could have him coming at like a previous time from when the characters in this realm will interact with the Kingdom Hearts universe. And I find that, I feel like that'd be fucking crazy. That would be in line with what the fuck Kingdom Hearts is going on with now, with all the time manipulation bullshit. It's just interesting. It'll be a big mind fuck. He got a nice fit. It is similar, I think, to designs from Final Fantasy 15 slash Versus 13. Again, just a kind of another detail, just emphasizing that where a lot of these ideas might be coming from. Oh my god. Ads every 5 seconds, guys. Let's turn it up a little bit. I just think that there could be room to be said that he's like, that's his past self. This, this, okay, so obviously the way that the fit looks, the chest, this seems to be a male, has to be the Master of Masters. Who else could it be? That's the question, right? Who else could this be other than the Master of Masters? And indeed, what are these feathers doing here? Is it just a bird? We haven't even gone to the gameplay section. But this has to be the Master of Masters. Feathers going on here. Sephiroth, maybe. Is it just a crow? Probably. This is Donald and Goofy. I think they're probably in the underworld. We've been seeing hints that they are trying to find Sora. They're going into different worlds, just looking for different ideas and stuff like that. And the thing is that I think they're trying to go to Hades because he's literally the god of the dead. And he might have an idea, of something, of an idea of where Sora could be. And this could actually be just a big hint as to them trying to find out where he is. Because our characters in Kingdom Hearts universe, they're still trying to figure out, where Sora is. What is this unreality? What are the hints on how to get to this place? And him being the god of the dead, and even Strelitzia saying in that last trailer that this is in some ways an afterworld, he might have some kind of hint to that. So, this blue fire being here, it's probably Hades that they're encountering in the underworld, and they're going to try and get some answers out of him. We'll just have to see if he actually answers those questions in some way that's revealing. Now, this scene right here, I've been wanting to talk about this. First of all, this guy's umbrella is completely fucked up. Who is this? Is this Riku? Which is who I think it is. Is it Xehanort? Is it like a different version of Xehanort? Is this Yozora? No, I don't think so. I don't think this is Yozora. This is actually one of the best shots in the entire trailer. Like, this actually has way too much aura, if I can say that. Like, who is this man just helping Sora out with an umbrella? And the fact that he's bringing an umbrella, again, that's just... The fit that he has on is very similar, I feel like, to what Xehanort would wear. But I think, if I may, his skin complexion is kind of lighter. No, hold on. This is Sora. Sora and Riku are virtually the same skin complexion. This might be a version of Xehanort. It's entirely possible. But we've never heard... What is it? Xehanort knows of unreality. But how would he have been in this world too? That's my thing, is that, like, how are all of these people winding up in unreality? Why do we know of this unreality thing? It's such an interesting, unknown, known concept. Like, what the fuck? It's so confusing. You think it's a time-displaced Xehanort? I think it's possible. The hairstyle is what makes me think it's most likely Xehanort. But the other thing that I'm thinking of is that I know that we see end of Kingdom Hearts 3 Riku in that secret ending, right? And he's in the same world as Sora is, and they wake up and they see this new area. This is basically exactly where that whole scene took place. Excuse me. But my idea here is that, first of all, there's two different things to this next idea that I'm going to say where I think it could be Riku. Is basically that in the secret ending, it showed end of Kingdom Hearts 3 Riku, like his look, but it also showed end of Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora's look. But as we can see inside of the trailers, inside of the game, when Sora does go into the unreality, it's in his new, older, different looking form with his new clothes. He might be a little bit older, just has a different look in general. That being said, you know, maybe some time did pass for him. Maybe he just simply kind of changed the way he looks because he's in a new reality. But what I'm saying is that from that secret ending, you know, they both looked like the versions of Kingdom Hearts 3 ending, right? But, and so on top of that, in the actual Kingdom Hearts universe, ever since the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 and from them starting to look for Sora, if I've watched enough videos to understand it correctly, 2 years have passed. So 2 years have passed since the end of Kingdom Hearts 2, where Riku and Kairi and everybody is trying to find Sora. And that's why I'm saying this could be Riku. This could be him grown up 2 years, because there's time displacement from between Kingdom Hearts universe and the Unreality universe. This is Riku that could be like 18 or 19 years old. His hairstyle is a little bit changed because his hair grew out a little bit and he shaped it up. He has a new fit, and now he finally found his way into Unreality, and he's helping Sora out when he's having a hard time. He's probably breaking down because everything is just like not going the way that he, you know, expected. Like everything doesn't make sense to him. What have you, you know, Sora being a little bitch as he sometimes is. Not hating on him. But then Riku shows up. Again, I just think it's a possible idea because of the simply because of I'm kind of like reusing words a lot, but the idea that there's some kind of time displacement between Unreality and Kingdom Hearts, and the fact that, again, like 2 years have already passed in Kingdom Hearts, in the Kingdom Hearts universe. They just haven't shown any kind of change in our characters yet, which is kind of annoying. But they don't want to change the characters every single game, even though they've done that fucking before. But yeah, 2 years have passed, so this could be Riku finally making it to Unreality and finding Sora. It could be Xehanort though. Like, it could easily be Xehanort. The only reason why I don't think it's Xehanort is because if it was Xehanort, his hair would be a little bit longer in the back here. And again, I think the fit is similar to what Xehanort would wear, especially with the boots and it being a cloak. But I don't think he ever had a hood. I think the hoodie is giving Riku. So I think this could be an older version of Riku. It's just hard to say because we can't see his face. But yeah, I think this is Riku, guys. I think this is Riku finally finding... Like, look at his face. I think this is Riku, 100%. It could be someone else. I don't think it's Yuzura. It could be Xehanort. Could be Riku. There's not many other characters with white hair. And white hair is extremely prominent in the Kingdom Hearts universe. Or at least aligning it with very specific characters like Riku or Xehanort. Or versions of Xehanort. Hold on, the umbrella piece that hold that's hold on, we gotta go to it. So yeah. And I think, oh shit, no, you're right, because I think someone said somewhere or something, it might have been Nomura himself, they said something about that drawing taking place while he was in Unreality or something like that. Holy fuck, where did I see that information? It was on some video that I cannot place. Xehanort umbrella. If he has a hood, it's him. Oh my god, it's Xehanort. Okay. Yeah, that's Xehanort. Oh shit. Okay, alright. It's solved. Yo, good. Gargling. Alright, cool. Hold on. What are these fucking ads, dude? So it's Xehanort. And this is Xehanort in Unreality at some point. Interesting. It must have happened at some point in Dark Road. See, the whole era of Dark Road and Scala ad Kylum has some kind of really significant link with Unreality. That's incredible, Gargamon. Nice. Wow. And this is the other one. This is the newest one. Which one is this one? From what year? Incredible. Incredible. He has the hood and everything. It's already confirmed. So that's Xehanort. Interesting. This is so interesting. Shit. Okay. So that's Xehanort before he goes evil. Because evil Xehanort is with the yellow eyes. Oh, this is funny. That is crazy. Whoever did this art, Holly Polly, you were on the nose. You were on the nose. That's crazy. If this scene happens, Holly Polly, you need to be given some kind of compensation, because that's crazy. Alright, so that's Xehanort. Okay. Valid. See, I thought so with the boots and the fit. I was just low-key hoping it was Riku, but it makes sense that it's Xehanort. That's it. He put that in there for a reason. God damn it, Nomura. Crazy man. Time thing is broken with the eye keyblade. You think so specifically because of that keyblade? It's possible. I mean, that keyblade is very important. Incredible. Alright. Let's finally look at some of this gameplay real quick. Let's try and get a good image of that new keyblade. Bro cannot stand still. That's like the best shot we have. Let's try and get some more. Oh, hold on. Interesting. The first new keyblade we get. And see, this is what's interesting. This is like just a fire, seemingly some kind of fire and water kind of keyblade going on here, right? To the point where it's literally like, it's almost like lava bending. Like, see how it like makes eruptions from the earth? It's so interesting. It's almost like lava. He does some swings that are very similar to some original like moves from Kingdom Hearts 3 or Kingdom Hearts 2, that swiping one. And we obviously see these the kind of charms that fly off when you get hit. Can we see the keychain? I find it interesting because it seems like with the gameplay that it's showing, which we'll get into in just a moment, I wonder if we'll be able to switch between, like the keyblade will switch. Like if we switch to a water-based kind of attack, will this part turn into water? Let's quickly analyze these Heartless if we can. Like, you see how even the Heartless, they just look different. Like, they just look entirely different. This must be the bigger Heartless, those bigger guys, not the, like the Neo Shadows. That's what they are. These might be Neo Shadows. But they're just like humans. Nah, you know what? These are simply the Heartless of humans. Like actual humans. Like real life humans, not Kingdom Hearts humans. Oh, hold on. Goddamn. I'm not trying to advertise nobody. crisis core is crazy. Wait, what am I doing? Wait, what the freak? Alright, we can keep it going now. Okay, cool. So the charms are coming out with these little frost. Maybe it's ice, but I think it is maybe more water-based than anything. Facts, dude. Good old memories. Good old theorizing. Taking the rust off. Moana? I suppose. I low-key didn't watch that movie, though. I like the design of this Heartless. It's very interesting. So, like the Dark Side, it has just a missing heart right here, and I wonder if that's going to be a very kind of prominent aspect in many of these Heartless. These hands have like multiple holes. I'm wondering if I don't think they'll be able to be used to like shoot something. It just makes me think it could, but it looks like the arms and the hands are kind of like one shape. And that's why it's used as a shield like this. It looks like the hands aren't really movable that much. It just looks like it's something that can be shot out. But some kind of crystal here. Wait, what's happening here? Whoa. Guys, look. This is very similar to the Neo from the Shadow. One of these Neo-human shadows. That does actually a really good look right here. But on the right here, you see that the shadow actually travels. And it's probably invincible. And I think another one is traveling. No, it's charging up an attack. And its hand got bigger. Interesting. Okay, so it has an attack where its hand gets bigger and will try and swipe you. The head is interesting. It's almost like a helmet. Look at that. That's very bizarre. This has to be real-life humans in the unreality becoming heartless. And therefore, they will be creating nobodies as well, I assume. Because if light and darkness are there, then nothing is there as well. The whole concept is being brought over into this real world. Isn't this supposed to have... Isn't it supposed to have the, It's supposed to have... Wait a second. Isn't it supposed to have the, I have the wrong trailer downloaded or something. Because it's supposed to have the stuff right here. Showing off, like the button layout. Well, either way. So we have literally people just standing around watching this fight happen. So it does at least make me wonder to some degree, will there be like environmental damage? Destroyed that one. The Heartless, I don't know if it got destroyed. Bro, my man's just getting ragdolled. We got money here. We got magic orb here. I find it, like, so he surfs up on the board here. Comes up, grabs the Keyblade, and smashes it down. Bless me. I suppose the way that the colors get right here is like... Hold on. Why does it go red like that? Hold on. He guards up. And then it goes red. Is that because he went into like an attack form? Okay, see, that's interesting. He has that shield up. But whatever this attack was... Ew, please get this off the screen. Whatever this attack was... It went right through the shield. And this is the thing traveling. Is it going to appear? Nice. Hold on. We saw that little appear right there. See if we can get that to play. Not in high quality. It's being stupid. Taking forever to render out this shit. Oh, it's because it's not in full. There we go. Guys, that makes a whole lot of sense. But it is going to be slower. Alright, so let's kind of talk about the crazy stuff that's happening in the background, though. Let's go back to half so I can actually render this shit. I don't have the trailer that has like the attack menu here and the sidebar for the health and stuff, which is interesting because that one had names and stuff of all of this, but it's clear that there's like some kind of like not transformation. It's literally says like build, and like when you're continuing attacks, there's different builds that possibly can be attained through different attacks. Because as you're attacking, I saw in the trailer that like the names are changing as you're playing. So like there's different attacks that can be, I guess, activated through different circumstances, maybe different heartless. And it looks like this is kind of like the build that you can get into with the Kingdom Key, where you're literally throwing chains everywhere and eventually are riding on keyblades. So this creates a twirl of chains here, another one right here, and then you can ride on it. And I don't know what trailer I saw, but there was like buttons here that basically activated you riding on this. And I guess, hold on. So the chain that you ride on then turns into projectiles. And then as a finisher, you create more projectiles. Almost like infinity. That's insane. I gotta say, I do like how it looks. I've always liked the introduction of different ways of fighting with the Keyblade, whether it be the magic moves or the commands, and stuff like that. This is really interesting. This is an expansion or an evolution of the Keyblade transformations, I think, in some way, or some way of utilizing the Keyblade, not necessarily transforming it. Because he is a master now. You know, by all means, it doesn't matter if this motherfucker loses his memories. He's a master. So he's able to utilize the Keyblade in different ways now, in completely different ways, different concepts. Let's go back to that other one real quick. Actually, hold on. Let's keep going forward. And that's an animation of the thing. Is that? Almost looks more female-ish. I can't tell. It might be. That's interesting. If there's like male and female. Maybe not, though. I don't think so. But that's it. It kind of... Oh, God. Come on. It's the Switch 2 trailer. The Switch 2 trailer, the only one where you can see it. Ah, true. Okay. That's valid. It took me through hell and back to get the trailer the way that it is here now. I can try and download it, though. Let me see. KH4 teaser. I cannot spell. I cannot spell. Holy shit. Switch 2. Let's just open it up right here. What are these captions? Ah, here we are. So we have a build, but it looks like the build is going down. So that's interesting, right? Why would it be going down? But as it's going, I want to make sure y'all can actually see it, at least all of it, most of it. There's Flowing Edge, Lava Slash, which seems like the main attack. Let's try and get it from the beginning. There's Lava Slash and Flowing Edge, and that's what he's using, I think, right now. That's probably Lava Slash. And then in Igneous Impact, Volcanon. So let's try and assume which one he uses. No, he just used Volcanon. Volcanon is the one he just used. And then but then it changes on the top. Bruh. Wait, where'd it go? So after he used that finishing attack, did he leave the build entirely? Or is it still there? Because the build button is at the bottom. Very interesting. Wait, I think that's kind of telling. The moment he... I find that so interesting. The moment he uses that, like, finishing attack or the X attack at the top is when the build thing at the top goes away. And that's the one. So I saw the buttons there. Let's go back here. Is this slightly different? It is slightly different gameplay. I didn't realize that because I checked the Japanese one and it was virtually the same, but the Switch one is different gameplay. Okay, which is kind of annoying. So I guess, okay, it was right there. He used chain something. Chain raid is probably what he used, or star ring. Chain raid. It's probably chain raid because right after that is when he shoots a bunch of chains or like keyblades from the chain itself. Wait, no, when he got onto the chain, it kind of went away. And then he used Heart Barrage, I think. What is happening? Why does it keep changing? I'm so confused how this build thing works. Nah, bless you. Oh, my fault. I think I'm not reading a lot of these comments. Let me double check before I go any further. Mostly from you, Gargamon. 1 second. Prob saying, right. The Heart Barrage. You see how that green thing comes up before we even have a second to really see it? Heart Barrage. What was that one that just flanking something? Flanking staff. So that's like just a finishing combo, and it just keeps going back and forth. This must be some kind of finishing move for sure, where he gets on the Keyblades. Wait a second. There's an indicator right here. That's interesting. There's an indicator indicating a Heartless is about to attack you from a certain direction. That's new. I like that. And that must mean that there's going to be a little bit more of a I guess like an expansion on how versatile these Heartless can be. Yeah, the names for the moves are fire, 100%. They're getting more unique with the moves and the designs of the moves. And see, this is definitely a finishing move because it kind of stays on the Heartless that's being attacked mainly, while Sora flies around on the freaking Keyblade ride. We're getting near to the end here. I think we're pretty much there. Let me go back. You think this is Heart Barrage? I don't think so. It could be. Let's go back to this one and just double check if we're like, you know, differences and things like that. It definitely does big AoE like in that center area, but I wouldn't expect it to be like super serious. Like a Mega Flare or something. There's also the possibility that you know, there's this EX bar that was moved. It used to be down here. That EX bar can have something to do with the kinds of moves that you can use, obviously. It may not be a shot lock specifically. I think it'll be something different, something more unique to this whole build system that it's going on here. I just wonder how deep, you know, building, literally the word building, it's like you're building on top of something. So it is a wonder on what exactly, how exactly this new combat system is going to work with this like building system of attacks, like building attacks on top of each other. And what is it going to build towards? Is it building towards an attack, a new transformation, a new move? I love the chain. I love the chain design right here. Like, it's just kind of like emphasizing more the whole chain idea of this Keyblade specifically. It has a chain and it kind of like is used, it's utilized. The chain itself is utilized. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's not much Keyblade transformation happening. It's utilizing of the Keyblade's capabilities. These chains and the light and stuff like that. And then this other Keyblade here. Let's go back real quick because I want to see if there's anything indicating water. Flowing Edge might be water related, and see the fact that this Keyblade, it has like a waterish and fireish, you know, look towards it. It has a volcanon, and see, that's what I'm saying is that I'm thinking, I see, you know what, it could be a build of either left or right, because the more that he was building towards the left, it made a fire move, the volcanon like ending finisher attack or whatever. But I'm wondering that if we were to do Flowing Edge and it was possibly a water-based attack, which we didn't see anything of from this Keyblade, would it have done a different finishing combo? That's what I'm imagining just now. I'm just kind of analyzing this real quick one more time. And see, with this one, I don't think we even saw once, what is this, Star Ring? I think this chain thing, this obviously has to be Chain Raid, right? I think it's a little bit off-putting with the name because raid implicates, I think, the strike raid where you're throwing your Keyblade. But I guess no, you know what? Me saying throwing the Keyblade, you're throwing change. It literally shows him like throwing the change out like that. So that must be Chain Raid. In which case we didn't even see Star Ring, I think, in any gameplay at all. We've only seen Chain Ring and maybe Heart Barrage, whatever that finisher attack is where he brings out the Keyblade ride. And so that's what I'm wondering, is that since we're only seeing one side of the build, there might be other sides of the build that if you use different attacks, that's what it'll end up becoming. Right, you know what I mean? There's definitely gonna be kind of a system in the game where, you know, each Keyblade has these specific abilities or ways of attacking that will that will be able to be best utilized in specific situations. And yeah, you know, there's probably gonna be a an ultimate weapon in the game, and it's probably gonna be one of the strongest weapons that we have seen ever. And that being said, just like regular tradition, eventually Sora will get Oblivion and Oathkeeper, and I'm wondering, oh my fuck, is he gonna get some kind of Oblivion Oathkeeper combination the same way that there's a combination with this Keyblade? Let me try and get it back over here, just a clearer image. Somewhere over here. It's somewhere here. What I'm saying is the here we are. This Keyblade, you know, this water and lava Keyblade here. And because there's different builds, I suppose, you know, you can go into different... Oh, we don't want to do this one. I don't want to be copyright striked. I'm not a Key of Light either. No encounters for me. Cavern of Remembrance, I remember it. The Worlds is... Alright. Revenge of Chaos. I think that's Riku's Keyblade. Riku's fight. That's fine. Anyways, imagine we get some kind of crossbreed of Oblivion and Oathkeeper where there's going to be a build of light and there's going to be a build of darkness. That'll be pretty dope, actually. I would love to see that. Exactly, yeah, like... Yeah, so there might be like certain weaknesses and strengths to some of these Heartless now. And that being said, some of these Keyblades might be better utilized in that way. That'd be cool, you know. I would like them to expand more on that, as opposed to just having whatever Keyblade you want. It just kind of determines the strength and magic, but something more like this that actually, excuse me, determines the flow of the gameplay itself. Because of the types of enemies that we will encounter. That'd be a pretty cool concept at that point. You know, the build system already seems to be pretty cool. We have literally people in the background watching. Cars, red lights. This gives me like slightly GTA vibes where I'll be able to just walk around. But then Heartless will just appear randomly, I guess. I really like that. As you ride on the chain, they fly. I find that so cool. And then this door of chains, I'm realizing that this is just straight chains. It opens a door, and then that's where these Keyblades come out. Let's see if I can distinguish any Keyblades. Is that the Keyblade? That is Circle of Life, maybe? That might be Circle of Life right there. Is that Sleeping Lion right there? That looks like a Keyblade from 358. 358 had a lot of unique Keyblades. That looks like the Keyblade from... What's it called? Pirates of the Caribbean? Kingdom Hearts 2? Maybe? I think that's a handle of a Keyblade. It looks interesting. I can't tell. Is that 2 become 1? Is that, Guardian Soul? I can't tell. It looks like it. That's like almost certainly Fenrir. Let's. If we get in the Star Wars world, which movie should it be? Man, okay, I'll indulge you just because you asked, but I just don't think Star Wars would be a thing. I think it might be possible because we're in the real world, but we're in Japan. Japan doesn't give a shit about Star Wars. That being said, I mean, I don't know. I would like to see him do episode 3 just because I think that movie might arguably be one of the most popular Star Wars movies in this era. And it's also very symbolic. Giving over to the darkness and stuff like that. So that's what I would say. I think if you have a magic and aerial combat build, you use Keyblade abilities to help you get extra height. Right, yeah. I wonder if the climbing up buildings is going to return, where you can literally just walk up a building. Like, remember that in this game? You can literally just walk up a building? Or am I tripping? That's a thing, right? Yeah. I would like to see regular magic. They didn't show any regular magic like thunder, fire, stuff like that. Just like these new Keyblade concepts and stuff. But I think we're finally getting near the end. So this is more of, again, so I think this is mostly all of a big kind of introduction into the game. But this part right here, where we're a bit further into the game, and we have like these Keyblade builds, and we have this second Keyblade. I think this is after the introduction. This is a bit further after that moment. But I think here, where we first find the dark side, because there's no dark side anywhere. This is just him playing in the middle of the area. It's also at night. So I think this is a different setting. This, I think, is the same intro of the game, where we're fighting the dark side. We're kind of going from building to building, trying to knock it down. And this was probably after he was thrown at a building, because he was thrown at a building. This might be the same building. The dark side is trying to attack. Just one of those game mechanics, I guess, because I guess he gets stuck, or he purposely pushes hands there, because then darkness comes from... Oh, fuck. Darkness comes from the ground and ripples and waves. That's actually kind of cool. And again, just more detail here. The way looks very stringy, but there's also like bits of orange darkness, because y'all know like the orange, the blue, the purple, like that's darkness right there, right? Like that's usually the colors. I like how it has like these like dots. It almost makes you think of a bunch of tiny little eyes. Like this is a combination of a bunch of shadows or something. That's what it's giving me the vibes of. So I guess just like these tendrils kind of come out. I suppose these will try and hurt you. Let me see. He broke one right there after he attacked it. Yeah, he broke that one. So they are meant to attack, but maybe they're just one shot. You know, once you hit them, they're gone. He's trying to do damage to the hand. So that's obviously like kind of like a boss mechanic. Like this is like a big boss mechanic. We're not facing one-on-one up against the dark side, who is maybe like a scale of 1 to 10 to Sora. This is a scale of 1 to 100. So his hand is literally His hand is literally the size of what the first dark side we faced was. Maybe his head. Maybe that's an exaggeration. But so he's like punching his hand into the building, and that gives us the opportunity to attack and deal damage to him. You know, as opposed to us attacking his hand, attacking his head, because we can reach him. You know what I mean? Like in Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 and all those other games. This is a dark side of an extreme scale. So it's just kind of like, this is very clearly kind of like one of those kind of mechanics where, you know, something happens, he punches the wall, and that gives us the opportunity to attack his arm or something. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's giving the way that games are designed nowadays, if you will, where it's, again, like I'm saying, scale, I guess. It's just new concept of scale, is what I'm saying. He does like a swipe attack, and again, just like the emphasis where it's like this, like these like eyes, or like this like yellow darkness. I love this like stringy darkness look here. It's like it has like a black outline, and the insides are like the blue and purple with some like yellow dots. That's tough, bro. And then obviously right here, like he blocked that perfectly, and that was the indication of the perfect, not the perfect block, but the fact that he did block it. Excuse me. But it looks like this barrier is like a rainbowish effect. I don't know how I feel about that. I like it. It's okay. I kind of like the clear effect, like from Birth by Sleep, for example, or even Kingdom Hearts 2 from Reflect and Block and stuff. And then the dark side breaks a wall, and then there reveals to be people here, and the dark side is going for the people, I guess, just because of animosity, aggression, maybe because he's trying to create more Heartless. You know, that's basically the idea of what they do. And then Sora comes up and helps them. Let's see if I can get that still shot. I don't think I can. It's too blurry. But he comes up, helps them, and immediately does a block. Boom. That's it. I mean, I think that's all I really have to talk about, too. There's not really much else that I wanted to talk about. I've talked about all the theories that I had, all the ideas that I had. Man, I just can't believe that this game is truly about to release soon, at least. Like it's out there, you know what I'm saying? It's out there. No, I'll keep that on. It's out there, and we got a teaser. And I just think it was really incredible that we got this teaser right after we got like the announcement or like release trailer or whatever for Revelations, Final Fantasy VII Revelations, because I thought my idea was we weren't going to see anything more of Kingdom Hearts 4 until like right after Final Fantasy VII's release. Because like they've been on that Final Fantasy VII roll, like they've been doing that for a long time now. It's just kept going. And Kingdom Hearts kind of got the back end, unfortunately, where Missing Link got canceled. And then they released like a Final Fantasy Dissidia mobile game. So it just seemed like everything was very Final Fantasy focused right now on Square Enix's end as far as these big titles. So I was surprised that Kingdom Hearts 4 got another teaser trailer, and things just look a lot more polished. It's giving us, yes, Kingdom Hearts 4 is in fact still being worked on. It still exists, you know what I mean? Because a lot of us were starting to doubt, like, we were going a long time without Kingdom Hearts stuff. We were supposed to get Missing Link, it got canceled. And the last trailer that we got, the announcement for Kingdom Hearts 4, that was like 4 or 5 years ago. And so we just had a lot of time without any information. And that is aside from those screenshots. We did get a couple screenshots, but like, who gives a fuck about those screenshots, bro? Yeah, so it was just surprised. Of course, to everyone else, it is the same way. It's just surprising. You know, we didn't expect this. I really didn't expect it because I had an idea that they were just going to kind of hold off on this game Like, I was literally gonna make a video about it. I thought that they were gonna hold off on showing anything about this game until after Final Fantasy VII's release, and then they surprised us. And it was on a Nintendo Direct of all places, because we know that Square Enix is best friends with Nintendo, but a lot of the games are kind of primarily on the PlayStation side. No question about it. But they have a lot of games way back in the past that are Nintendo exclusives. Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Birth by Sleep, not Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, and 358. You know, all those games were literally Nintendo games only. Two of them got ported, but you know, so it was just a very, very happy surprise that it showed up at the Nintendo Direct and not on PlayStation. Because when it came to the PlayStation event, you know, the games that were there, to me, they were whatever. But I think if anyone expected Kingdom Hearts to be somewhere, it would have been on the PlayStation, whatever, the state of play. But it was on Nintendo Direct, so it was just a huge surprise. It was even, they knew what they were doing too, because it was the second to last reveal, and then the last reveal was Ocarina of Time remake, which is even more huge for the Nintendo community in and of itself. It was just really amazing to get this trailer. It gives us a lot more of information, as well as questions. You know, I think a lot of us are kind of coming under, I think from what I've seen online, a lot of us come to believe that that's Ava at the beginning. You know, a lot of us are thinking that that's Sigrun, a person from the end of Union Cross, the guy with the purple fit on, you know, showing Luxord there, you know, that person with the Keyblade. There's just so much new stuff in here. It really expands upon, you know, a bunch of mysteries that were already, you know, there. That's the beauty of Kingdom Hearts. I feel like there's a lot more mysteries than answers, but that's the beauty of it. You know, it's just a lot of these events kind of unfolding and we're just kind of there for it. And, you know, but it's still just like many things that kind of are left to wonder. But I think that's honestly going to be the end here. I've been going on for a while and I'm kind of hungry, guys. So I think I'm going to end it. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys in the next one. We're going to let this trailer play one more time. We're going to let it play one more time.
This世界の構造はとても複雑で、私たちが定義する光と闇を具現化したものは存在しなかった。
It looks so good.
それを定義するものが
Can't believe it.
来たことで、この世界にも私たちの定義する闇が現れた。
I low-key think that's Yozora. Xehanort somehow there in the Unreality. A good find by Gargamon. Completely forgot about that image. I love the music too. Something we haven't even talked about. The music is incredible. It's like a new way of listening to our regular Kingdom Hearts music. Boom. We're finally here, guys. I think it's gonna release 2027, late 2027, because when does Revelations release? Spring of 2027. Shite. Fuck. If that was a teaser trailer, so we had an announcement trailer and then a teaser trailer. So, damn. This is coming in spring. I don't think they would want to release the game in the same year. Fuck. Kingdom Hearts 4 might not release until 2028. I'm sorry to say that. Yeah. Hold on. Kingdom Hearts 3 announcement. I can't spell. Announcement date versus release date. Perfect. 5 years and 7 months. So we were teased Kingdom Hearts 4 about 4 to 5 years. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would not put it past Kingdom Hearts 4 to release in like Kingdom Hearts usually releases early year. So I think there's a good chance it'll be early 2028. If it's 2027, great. I just think that's a bit too early. If Revelations is coming out at that time. But there you have it. My prediction is early 2028. I think that's going to be the date. Probably March or sometime in spring. But beyond that, guys, I think that's the end. I appreciate you guys all staying here. Gargamon, Elfine, Blaze, Mario, Black Mario, all y'all, thank you for joining up. Brady, you was here for a hot minute. Thank you everyone for joining up, and then thank you everybody who is going to watch this video afterwards. If you go all the way through, I appreciate you. We'll just see what we get in the future. But other than that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, night, or wherever you are. I'll see you guys in the next one.